Giants. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Ready? And they'll begin by running the option.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking here for Smith downfield.
So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. With it is Jackson. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And some room to work. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 33 and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jones. James has got it. Complete.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
Gano's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Boy, 30 more yards and another first down.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Miles Sanders first carry of the game.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
They'll run with Sanders.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Once again with Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
A.J. Brown, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
quick throw. Here's Shepard. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. From the 38, Jones. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing, Jones. As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
The Giants at 500 at 6-6. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. But I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
A first down carry for Barkley. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Aaron Robinson. And the Giants are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got him. Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
But, Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick-6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Jones. This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Jones. And that's complete to Shepard. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Richie James, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are back within a score. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
On 2nd down and 4. Hurts. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. On first down, Hurts. And once again, this is Sanders. short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot it.
He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there, a 22.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And this is caught by Watkins.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Six yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Back to throw. Jones.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Operating from the gun, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. Showed that brute strength, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, all these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
He finds his tight end Goddard. That's complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 29 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Third quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Oh, Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
They go play action with Hurts.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the 29, Jones. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick-6.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick-6s? Oh, yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.